Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience. My name is Chris and we have got a fun little throwback episode for you tonight. I am joined by three of my absolute favorite people, and I'm going to start with the lovely young woman sitting to my left, my lovely wife, Leah. Leah, how you doing, babe, and what you drinking?
I'm doing very well, considering it is the first day of school, and we had a very, very busy day at our high school today, but yeah, I survived. Hopefully I did not get COVID in our mask optional environment. Try not to get too political on here. So I am drinking some Diet Coke to kind of help me stay awake, because it was a very long day, but I did put a little splash of Jim Beam's Red Stag.
That's the black cherry whiskey.
The black cherry, yes.
It's a good whiskey. Actually, for a flavored whiskey, it's really good.
Yeah, it was infused in a bourbon something. So
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, cool. I like it.
Now, speaking about things that I like, let's head on over to Huntsville, Alabama. Nikki, how you doing? What you drinking?
I'm doing good. I feel like it's been forever since I've done this podcast, so I'm excited to be back. Yeah,
it feels like it's been forever
it has.
for
I mean,
all of us.
We had like vacations and all that, and so I just haven't really haven't been on it for a while. Yeah, I actually very much considered pulling out some liquor for this evening because it's been a long day. But then I also remembered that I have to get up like super early and other stuff, so I decided to just go for coffee tonight. But I am kind of thinking about Mike's beer over there. It looks good, so.
Now, let's not bury the lead. Mike, how you doing? What you drinking?
I am doing great. I'm continuing my journey through all of my birthday beers. I got several beers for my birthday, and I've been gradually featuring them on the podcast. Yes, fans, this is how much I care about you, that I have been deferring drinking my birthday beers so that I could feature them on this podcast. And this one I'm super excited about. My aunt actually got me this beer. It is brewed out of the Yazoo Brewing Company in Nashville, Tennessee. Growing up, my aunt used to send us boxes of Goo Goo clusters for Christmas every year. My Aunt Janice did, because she knew we couldn't get them wherever we lived, which was never Nashville. And she knew how much we loved them. Now that I'm an adult, she got me Yazoo Goo Goo Ale. Kid you not. If you've never had a Goo Goo cluster, that might not mean as much to you, but this is fantastic. It says on the can, Yazoo is proud to collaborate with another Nashville original to create Goo Goo Ale, brewed with cocoa nibs, peanut butter, and vanilla beans to pair perfectly with the original Goo Goo clusters.
What the hell is a Goo Goo cluster?
It is
delicious.
Exactly that. It's cocoa nibs, peanut butter, and it's actually a little bit of a marshmallowy center. It's so good.
You get them in Nashville.
My life.
Yeah. Anyway. Cheers. Let's see how this goes. Oh my gosh, that's really, really good.
Does it taste like a Goo Goo?
That's really good. Yeah. It doesn't quite taste like a Goo Goo. I think because they didn't do like the marshmallowiness. They went for a vanilla thing, but it's still very, very good.
Are you gaga for Goo Goo?
I am now. What about cuckoo for Goo Goo?
I was trying to fit an Irish joke in there. I just couldn't make it. It just didn't.
All
fit.
good. But no, I will be enjoying this beer. It's really good. Thank you, Aunt Janice.
So I was on a cleanse. So we went to Kentucky, as everyone here knows, but our listeners at home, we met Mike in Kentucky for a celebration of his 40th birthday. That was a lot of fun. So much fun, so that I drank a little bit too much, and whew. Yeah, I was not feeling great for about a week after we got back. So I cut myself off for a week, and I'm going to break that tonight with something very, very light, very, very simple.
Ooh.
Don't get your hopes up. This is, I have rallied against these for as long as I can, but then I had a couple of them up in Rhode Island that weren't bad, and this is one I've never had before, but I trust the brewery. So I do have a hard seltzer. But, like, if you're going to trust a hard seltzer company or a alcohol company to make hard seltzer, Funky Buddha is not the best you can get.
Mike was shaking a little bit.
I was trembling with barely contained rage. No, everybody do you. I know I'm a snob, but that's really my take is do you. And Chris, if you're in the mood for a hard seltzer, you're in the mood for a hard seltzer. And Funky Buddha is a great brewery.
Well, no, I'm just thinking this will be easier on me and my, issues than, say, pounding a half a bottle of Eagle Rare or Blanton's or
Sure.
something like that. So this is it's a Funky Buddha blood orange seltzer, and we'll see. I'm not a big fan of seltzer, but that's not bad. That's not bad. That'll get the job done. And for 1 gram of carbs per can and 90 calories, that's not bad,
Nice.
actually.
You said blood orange?
I'll take it.
It's a
I'll
nice
take
little
it.
treat.
Yeah, blood
I'll bet
orange
that's
by
refreshing,
Funky Buddha. Which is weird because I had a workout before we recorded. As Leah was putting the baby to bed, I had a workout in the garage, and it was hot as hell out there. But yeah, this actually is very quenching right now. So tonight, we have gathered, and I'm not sure those that realize this, but come October, I think it's October 24th, is our 3-year anniversary. In our first couple of recordings, we didn't have a whole lot to do. So we had this game that I don't know if I think I bought it like Marshall's for dirt cheap. It's the ultimate pub trivia game. In the first couple of recordings, we played this game, and there's 9 questions per card, and we just played the game and crowned winners. And we've kept the board game around for the past 3 years. We haven't really played it all that often. We kind of bust it out once a year for an episode, and I think it's about that time. We're coming up on 3 years together as a group, and a lot of fun, a lot of good times. And I thought this is actually a really good night to kind of bust this out. So, Leah, what 2 categories are we going to be playing tonight?
All right, so we're going to have 9 questions over the course of 2 cards. So the first card category is going to be anything goes. So it's exactly how it sounds. Anything goes. And then the second 9, the second half of the game, the last 9 questions, will all be in the pop culture category, because that's something that I think we can all agree on, that we're pretty evenly matched in pop culture, the 4 of us, just maybe in various areas of pop culture, but it's something that we all know a little something about. So
I feel like
we
we'll be
figured
okay.
that'd be the fairest category.
I have a little tiny trophy on
So
my
the way
desk
this
that
works-
says that I'm pop culture trivia champion.
Yeah.
Is that on your
What's
desk?
that?
at
It's
work?
absolutely
Is it
on my
really?
desk. Yeah.
It-
No, at
Is
home.
it at
no.
home or at work, though?
No, I wouldn't take it to work. I guess I could. There's no reason I couldn't.
Oh my
but-
gosh,
Be like
please
Dwight
do
in
it.
the office.
Please bring it
Right.
to work. That'd
Please
be
bring it to
awesome.
work.
So these questions, they are questions 1 through 5 are worth 10 points apiece. Question 6 has not multiple, but there's multiple answers. So we're going to do 5 points per correct answer. 7, 8, and 9 are 10 points each. Question 7 is a who said, so they're going to give you a quote, the name who said it. Question 8 for each card is give you the decade, and then question 9 is the answer is going to be a number. Question number 10 is a drawing round, which would not work well on a podcast. So we're going to
We
skip
could do
question
word
number 10.
descriptions.
Yeah, but we're not playing Taboo or Apples to Apples or anything like
Taboo?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
but
game.
it's generally
Taboo.
pronounced
Taboo.
taboo,
It's called
not
taboo.
It's Taboo.
It's taboo. I know it's taboo now, but it'll get better.
That might be why I pronounce it that way.
like taboo.
Yeah.
I tried
Okay.
tried to make
I
a
got
French
it. It took me
No,
a
it
second,
worked,
but
it
I
worked.
All
got it.
5 of you out there hopefully got it.
All right, Leah, so you're the quiz master. We're going to trust that you're not looking at the answers. You're just going to turn the card over and slide down to see the answer to the question as we go through. The team is going to be Leah and me versus Mike and Nikki in a game that Leah and I have never beaten Mike and Nikki in. So this is going to be interesting.
That is-
Really? Is that
I,
true?
I believe
don't
it's
know.
true.
Oh.
The,
Is it
the
true?
first time it was true.
Yeah.
I don't remember subsequent times.
Oh, yeah, well, the
Mike
first time
counts
was
all
the
his
infamous...
wins.
The first time was the 1, 2, 3. Chris says the wrong director.
Yeah, we won't
Yes.
do any of these.
All right, so Leah, read us question number 1. Let's get started.
All right, so just to reiterate this category, the first 9 questions are going to be in anything goes. So question number 1 for 10 points. What is the name of the new girl in the TV show New Girl?
Yeah,
We can lock in, I think.
We can lock in too.
Yeah, I assume they
Yeah,
want the character
so-
name. Yeah. Okay.
To avoid the 3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
cards,
which
give the
I was
answer
just going to say,
first.
do you want
Yes,
us or
we
you
can
guys?
do
You
that.
guys can go first.
But also last time we did the 3, 2, 1, you also did not consult with your wife before talking, so I'd prefer you not just whatever. I guess you already locked in, so
I
it is
did.
what it is. So you you say what you think the answer is?
It's Jess.
Okay, so Chris and Leah locked in with it's Jess.
Her name is Jess.
Mike and Nikki,
Yeah, I was
what did
totally
you lock
planning
in
to
with?
sing it, but Chris stole my thunder.
Yeah, I mean, it's Jess. It's in the opening song. So.
Who's that
girl?
It's Jess.
They harmonize better than Mouse 2.
Yeah, we
sickening.
sound horrible. So the answer they're looking for is Jessica Jess Day.
Yeah, Jessica
so
Day.
I'm gonna give us all points because we at least got the first name. It did not specify it needed a full name. So, all right. So 10 points
Nikki
for
might have known the
everyone.
last name. I wouldn't.
I
have.
did, but I didn't really think. I mean, I was just like Jess.
It's Jess. Yeah.
All right. So question number 2: Tanzania's largest city contains what word that means peace in Arabic? So Tanzania's largest city contains what word that means peace in Arabic?
Okay, we'll go ahead and lock in.
Okay, Leah, will you tell our audience what you just asked me?
He's like, do you have any idea? And I was like, I don't know. Tanzania, is that where the Tasmanian devil lives? And then he got mad at me and refused to discuss any further. And then I said, I think it's in Africa, right? And then you didn't respond at this point. You were
Tanzania
done
is
with
in
me.
Africa. The
Okay.
Tasmanian devil's from Tasmania or Tasmania.
Is that near Australia?
It's the
Is-
island. Off
Chris,
south
is
coast of
Tasmania its
Australia.
own
Australia.
sovereign country, or is it part of Australia? Okay,
No, it's part of Australia. It's one of their. I'm not sure if
that's
it's.
that's
a
what I
state or
thought,
a
but I wasn't
territory.
100%.
But I have no idea.
Do you know where Tanzania? I assume it's in like the upper right-hand corner if they're making words that are near Arabic.
I mean, it's on it's towards the east of Africa. I just don't know how far up it is. But neither here nor there doesn't help us.
So
I
we're
can't
trying
name.
to find what a word for peace would be in
I
Arabic.
can't name a city in. I can't. I don't know.
I thought you were practicing your capitals because the largest city could also be the capital. It
I
doesn't
have been
say.
practicing my capitals. I didn't get very far through that quiz. I don't remember a lot of the capitals, so no.
Capital's
I'm
also
useless.
not necessarily the largest city.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it doesn't say that.
It would give me a city in that country that I would feel okay with answering.
But if I assumed if it was the capital, they would have said capital city, unless they're just trying to throw you off. I don't know.
So in Arabic is close in the same realm as Judeo and Christian ideology.
So do you know what peace means? And
Isn't it Noel? Isn't that peace and
oh, that's like that's probably like in a Christmas song.
well
Probably.
the first Noel? Yeah,
The
kind
first-
of in the title.
the first piece. Noel. Okay, so something Noel.
Well, I
Noel
think
doesn't
we just
sound
need to give the
Arabic.
word. We just need to give the word, and I don't have anything better than Noel.
Okay, we'll just go Noel. I'm cool with that. All right, Mike and Nikki.
We
what did
actually
you guys
kind
say?
of had a similar logic. I'm fairly certain shalom is peace in Hebrew. I think that's what shalom means, and I've also heard the Arabic word salam, which is fairly close to shalom. So that's what we said. We said
Yeah,
salam.
I mean, honestly, I could not name a city in.
We
Tanzania.
couldn't.
I couldn't.
I feel
couldn't,
bad,
I
but-
know.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Tanzanian listeners. We'll get better. Okay, so our correct answer is Salam. Dar es Salam. I'm assuming that's the
Wow.
city name. Dar es
Nice.
Salam, and the
Cool.
word they're looking for is Salam. So nice job.
Nice
guys.
logic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
All right.
pull, Mike and Nikki.
Okay,
Oh, losing already, babe.
that's okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and pop another one.
That's the downside of those seltzers. They go down easy. Actually, this
They
Goo Goo
do.
Ale, for all of the description, is actually pretty light, so it's going down fairly easy too. Fortunately, I have a second beer handy that I selected specifically because this is going to be my first show with Leah in a while. So I'll bust that one out in a minute.
Oh no!
Ah,
I'll be there for brews. Maybe.
Oh, that would be
amazing.
amazing. I wish that does that exist? Because if it doesn't, it needs to.
it probably does.
All right, question 3.
All right, question number 3. In what country was the Terracotta Army sealed underground? Yeah.
All right, I guess we can lock in.
There is some kind of architecture.
All right, y'all have locked in. So we had a couple lines of thought there, Leah.
Uh-huh.
So what were you thinking?
So first I thought of, because the question was terracotta, and I was like, is that different than Calcutta? Because I was pretty sure there was something that happened with Calcutta, and I'm pretty sure that was India. and it had something to do with people underground, like people like in like an underground like prison kind of thing. But then I was like, is terracotta and Calcutta the same thing? And then I kind of said like, well, no, I don't think so, because I've only heard of it being referred to as Calcutta and nothing about terracotta. But it's a lot of the same letters, but I was like, I'm pretty sure they're different things. So we were kind of like, I wanted to say India because it kind of sounded similar, but then I was like, well, I kind of don't want to go there because even though it has a lot of the same similar letters, I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
And then Chris kind of took it from there, and we never came up with an answer.
No, so I was just thinking, like, when I think of terracotta, it reminds me of like it's not architecture, but it reminds me of like accompaniment, whatever you want to call it, for like design for like houses and stuff like that in Spain or in Latin America.
So do you think an army could be buried underground in one of those countries?
Spain's got a torrid history of shit.
Of like basements and stuff, right? Because isn't that where they do the Spanish Inquisition? And I picture that being in like an underground, like a not a place that has a lot of windows.
I mean, I feel
like a castle.
It sounds older, so I would feel a lot better about Spain than I would anything in like South Central or America or Mexico. I'd feel better about that. Okay. But if you've got logic bringing you to India, I have nothing to stop us from going there either.
No, my logic for that was that I was thinking about Calcutta, not terracotta.
Okay.
So I'm fine with going with Spain.
All right, we'll lock in Spain, and I'll be wrong. Mike, tell us what the right answer is.
Yeah, Mike, tell us what the right answer is.
I don't know what the Terracotta Army is.
Yeah, we had
nothing. The only thing, I mean, like, we thought it kind of sounded Italian, just like terracotta. And then, like, I was thinking, like, the Romans, so maybe it had something to do with, that. So we said Italy, but there's really no logic besides, like, it kind of sounded Italian.
Yeah, I've never heard of the Terracotta Army, so I'll be really interested to find out more.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, wait, this entire army was not buried, but sealed underground. I was like, I feel like that's a cool story. How come no one talks about that?
If it was Caligula, I'm going to laugh.
Let me see.
Well, not laugh, but, feel bad and laugh.
Well, everyone can rest easy that no one is getting points for this one. Their correct answer is China.
Oh.
Really?
Was it maybe it might have been Genghis Khan's army going up from Mongolia?
Well, and it says in what country was this army sealed. So maybe the army was from another country, but it happened in China.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it could be during, like, the Mongol raids. It's not a bad guess.
People, if you have information on this, please send it to us. We'd love to read more about this. It's very interesting.
Freaking Wikipedia.
Okay, well, I was just trying to be interactive with our audience, but whatever. Just do it myself.
Email complaints to PubTriviaExperience@gmail.com. Leah, take us away.
All right, so here's question number 4. What is the Monday after Thanksgiving Day called?
We're going to go ahead and lock in. We'll let y'all talk it out.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I think of is like Black Friday, but it's on Friday.
Right.
I mean, there is Cyber Monday, but yeah, I don't know if that's what they're talking about. There's actually...
Yeah, and is Cyber Monday the 2 days after Black Friday? I don't know.
I mean, it is the actual thing, so I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that would be after Thanksgiving. I don't, there might be something, but I don't think so.
Yeah, like, I mean, is there any, I'm just trying to think of if there's anything associated with, like, the beginning of the Christmas season or something along those lines. But I can't think of anything that is a, blah, blah Monday other than Cyber Monday. So, and I don't remember if that's when Cyber Monday is, but yeah. But
isn't like the day after Christmas something like that's actually like
the day after Christmas is something, and I don't remember
what it's called. But that is actually something.
Boxing Day?
Yeah,
I think it's Boxing Day.
But like, I don't think that, I would just say Cyber Monday.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to have anything else, so Cyber Monday.
Okay, so Mike and Nikki lock in with Cyber Monday. Chris, what are we lock in with?
The exact same thing. There's Black Friday, and Cyber Monday is when like Amazon and all the online stores have their deals. Unless there's some religious holiday that I'm not aware of, Cyber Monday makes the most sense.
Okay, so both teams locked in with Cyber Monday. So the answer they have for us is Cyber Monday. Nicely done.
Woohoo! We'll take it.
What I really wanted to say was Wrapping Day. I was like, do you think that that's what it's called? Like where you wrap all the presents you bought, the weekend of Thanksgiving. But
No, but now I think of DMX singing the reindeer song. What's the song about the reindeer?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Grandma got rhino.
Yeah, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, yeah.
Oh.
Have you never heard DMX singing Rudolph
I
the
have
Red-Nosed
not.
Reindeer?
I don't think I have. I might have.
Oh, you were missing out.
Okay, so we're moving on to question number 5. And I don't know what year this game came out and if these facts are still true, but we're going to say it came out probably like 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago. What is the best-selling band of all time? Is the big one.
All right, we can lock in.
All right, so let's kind of talk through this. I think there's a couple that it could be, right? It's you're looking for a band that's got a good-sized catalog that's been around for a while.
So like the Beatles, the Eagles, the Beach Boys,
Like
the Rolling Stones.
The Beach Boys, no. They never had the popularity to get that. I mean, they were big, but they were never huge. No, not Styx. I wouldn't think it's Styx. I don't know. Mike's drumming over there.
Mr. Roboto.
So the Eagles is a good choice because they've got the number one, or at least at one point in time was the number one best-selling album of all time with their greatest hits album.
What about the Beatles? Do you like it better or worse than the Eagles? I'll do like the Eye Doctor, where they hold up 2 ones. Can you see better or worse? So do you like the Eagles or the Beatles better? Which animal do you like better?
My problem with the Beatles is that they stopped, right? They're there's
the
not
Eagles
anymore.
are still going?
They had a much longer run than the Beatles did.
Okay.
I would think.
So you like the Eagles more than the Beatles?
I don't think the Beatles were huge, but I don't think they were together like in their heyday for more than 7 or 8 years. I feel like.
Okay. Do you like the Eagles or the Rolling Stones better?
What do you think?
I'm just naming off people. You and I, neither of us know music, so I don't even know if we can even talk this out and get to a correct
We can't.
answer.
The other thing that's in the back of my head is I know at one point in time the band Chicago had like 7 or 8 albums in the top 200, like at the exact same time.
Wow. Okay.
But Chicago, it can't be Chicago. They didn't have.
My mom did have a couple of their albums. I can picture what they look like. Their CD covers.
We're talking about like being the best-selling band of all time. If the answer to this question is Chicago, I'm eating the card.
Okay. So we should finish the card before we start eating.
I think the Eagles is our best bet.
Okay. That's fine with me.
They've been around for a while. They've had multiple albums. They had obviously had enough albums to have a couple of greatest hits.
And we know that one of the greatest hits was like the number one best-selling.
Greatest Hits Volume 1 is the number one best-selling album of all time.
But at least up there. So we at least have some kind of logic behind it.
Yeah,
so,
we'll let's check into the Hotel California.
Oh, is that who sings that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's check in. Let's do it.
Music, bitch.
Okay, Mike and Nikki, what did you guys say?
You
Tell
can
us the
check
correct
in,
answer.
but you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. No, we actually had a very similar discussion with the 3 bands that we threw out were the Beatles, the Eagles, and the Rolling Stones. The Eagles do have the greatest selling album of all time and greatest hits, Volume 1, but I don't know that it's quite enough to have overall eclipsed the Beatles. The Beatles,
people still buy Beatles.
the Beatles had twice as many albums. They had numerous compilations. They had that number 1 compilation, which was huge. They, I don't know if streaming data counts, but they're definitely more streamed than the Eagles. So, ultimately we locked in with the Beatles because we just came down to it's got to be the Beatles. We just turned to each other. We said it's got to be the Beatles, right? So we said the Beatles.
Okay, well, one team is getting points here.
It's not us.
We actually did talk about this. Both teams talked about this artist or this band, and the correct answer is the Beatles. So good job, Mike and Nikki.
They weren't. I didn't feel like they were together.
They
that
weren't,
long.
but they were hugely popular when they were together, and I do think that
Their albums continue to sell.
I think it's because the albums continued to sell.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I bought number 1,
Right.
so yeah.
Well, they had those.
My mom.
They had the 2 compilation disc sets that were really popular. Everybody
merchandise.
had.
I mean, merchandise probably.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if
they count,
merchandising
but they
counts
just
too.
said best,
But
best selling. So I mean, it's like
Yeah.
they didn't specify album. So I'm
Yeah.
just like there's
Yeah.
so much Beatles
Alright.
merchandise.
I briefly actually thought Metallica, but I didn't think that they had broad enough appeal. But they were obviously huge sellers too.
I'm really glad I didn't go with Chicago.
Yeah. Okay, so going into our first halftime, the score is 40 points for Mike and Nikki and 20 points for Chris and Leah. It's still anybody's game. It's fine. It's fine, babe.
All right, before halftime,
right.
I am going to pop over another beer. I featured it over on Boozy Bracketology, their sister podcast as well, but I knew that I wanted to save at least one to bring on a show that I got to record with Leah, because I know about how she loves to rage against the patriarchy. So I, of course, brought another beer in the Patriarchy series.
Yay!
This is their Root Beer Float Imperial Brown Ale. It's so good. It really does taste like a root beer float.
Sounds awesome.
It sounds delicious.
It's really, really good. I like this beer a lot.
I mean, I don't like root beer, but for people who like root beer, that sounds fantastic.
It's not your father's root beer.
Okay, so let's go ahead and head into our first halftime. For this question, there are going to be 4 possible answers. You will get 5 points for every correct answer, and please only provide 4 answers for us. All right? So here is your question. Name the 4 canonical biblical gospels. So, name the 4 biblical gospels according to canon. Right? Like in canon. It's like part of their canon. Okay.
All right, here we go.
We have locked in.
All right, I think they've locked in, Leah.
All right, so Mike and Nikki, we have also locked in. So, Mike and Nikki, what did you guys say as the 4 canonical biblical gospels?
We said Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Okay, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Chris, what did we lock in with?
The exact same 4.
Okay, if this is not correct, I'm going to be real mad. Okay, they're kind of pretentious, but whatever.
It's the gospel according to Matthew.
Exactly.
That's what it's on here. It says Gospel of Matthew, Gospel of Mark, Gospel of Luke, and Gospel of John. But we're all getting points.
I have a book on my bookshelf called The Gospel According to Peanuts, and it's all about all the biblical references in Charlie Brown.
I had that same book growing up. I literally had it on my bookshelf in high school. I don't have it anymore, but I did have it. It was very cool. Okay, so we are now heading into the second half of the Anything Goes category. Question number 7 is a quote. So it's a who said it. So I'm going to read the quote, and then both teams will take a guess as to who was the person, I guess, or character who said it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a real life person. So here's your question. Who said, quote, "One is never overdressed or underdressed with a little black dress"?
One is never overdressed,
or
underdressed with a little black dress.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and lock in.
Okay, they're already locked in.
Fashion stuff, I don't know.
Well, it's the beauty of not knowing the answers.
One is never overdressed or underdressed with a little black dress.
Yeah.
So it's got to be like, is it a designer or some kind of actress or fashion?
Yeah, I mean, I thought of like a Marilyn Monroe or somebody like that.
It's not really like, that wasn't like a little black dress.
No, I know, but I was just.
I mean, if it was going to be that, I would say it would be like an Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn might be that, yeah.
More than a Marilyn.
True. You might be right.
Little black dress is like an old saying, so
right.
I mean, it's got to be like a.
That's why I went older, and I just thought actresses for whatever reason.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like like fashion. I mean, obviously it could be someone in the fashion industry, but I just feel like little black dress has been like a phrase for a long time,
right?
Like so. What? I don't know who a bigwig in like the early fashion days would be.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, who is somebody who picture in a little black dress?
Me.
Yes, but only in my dreams.
I mean,
I didn't say it was a pleasant picture. I didn't say it wasn't a nightmare.
I'm gonna say Audrey Hepburn just because like Breakfast at Tiffany's and stuff like that. She's in a little black dress.
That's true, and that makes it.
I can see her even saying that, like, "Oh, you're never," because she's wearing. So are they talking about Audrey Hepburn or
is it Holly Golightly?
I don't know.
That's the interesting question because I like where your head's at, but
because it could be Holly Golightly, but
right.
I mean,
But if it is Holly Golightly, technically Audrey Hepburn said it too.
Well, they didn't say character. They said
That's right.
person.
That's right. So
So
I like. I mean, I like Audrey Hepburn.
I mean, honestly, I don't really know.
Well,
So
I don't.
It's just a guess because I'm thinking, like, I don't know. For some reason, that seemed like because she was kind of a. I mean, it could be a Marilyn, but because I could maybe see Marilyn saying that, but like, I just for some reason Audrey Hepburn came into my head, but I could be totally
No, I
wrong.
like that. I like that answer. Yeah. I say go with it.
All right, we're gonna say Audrey Hepburn.
Okay, so Mike and Nikki said Audrey Hepburn. Chris, what did we lock in with?
We had the exact same conversation in my head, thinking, okay, I've seen Breakfast at Tiffany's. There's one person I associate with a little black dress, and it's Audrey Hepburn. Had I thought about the whole designer angle, I might have talked myself out of it, but I didn't. We locked in rather quickly. I said, you want to go with this? And you said yes.
I did. Because, I had no idea. All right, so let's see. The correct answer is a man by the name of Karl Lagerfeld.
So some fashion dude that we don't know.
Okay, cool.
Lagerfeld?
Good, cool story, bro.
Look,
move on.
If memory serves, the quotes are always somebody really weird and obscure on this game.
Yeah, that's coming back to me right now.
I gotta.
We have
Google
one
who
listener
he
that's going,
is
it's Karl
specifically.
Lagerfeld, you dipshit.
Yep.
What is the name?
Karl
Lagerfeld.
There it is.
You can leave out the FELD.
And Karl is with a K.
Okay, I mean, he's a German director. Yeah.
You'd have been around that time.
He was
Did you
a
do
creative
Breakfast
director,
at Tiffany's?
fashion designer, and artist in Paris in the 1930, 20.
Well, he was born in 1930, so he was probably big in the 60s and 70s, so right around the time of
so he was some kind of, and he's very fashionable. He wears like these sunglasses, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He looks like he could fill out a little black dress.
Oh.
It better be strapless.
Okay, so we're going into question number 8, which is a decades question. Here we go. In what decade was the Burning Man Festival founded? So the Burning Man Festival.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and lock in.
Yeah, we'll lock in.
All right, we're just sitting here debating. We feel like it's fairly new, but we're not sure if it's quite 21st century new or if it was maybe a little older. So we're basically waffling between whether it was the 90s or the aughts. It's probably going to end up being way older than that, and we just never knew. But I think we're leaning towards it was founded in the 90s, but it didn't really gain notoriety until the aughts. Is kind of what
it's one of those things. I mean, I could totally see it in the 70s too. So I mean, it's
true.
Just,
That's
whatever.
true.
But I mean, I would say, let's just go with. I would say just go with.
Yeah, we'll go with the 1990s.
I'm really glad you talked me out of my answer.
Well, we don't know what the right answer is. So we were kind of feeling older. So we kind of talked about the 60s, 70s, or 80s. And the only thing I don't even know what this is, what this Burning Man Festival is. But I watch a lot of like things on Netflix, like documentaries that are like top events in the 80s, top events in the 90s. And those are literally the only two I ever watch because I don't care about anything before 1980. And I don't really care about anything after 2000. And I'm picturing some kind of nighttime event with things on fire. And I'm picturing it happening in the I love the 1980s thing. So that was the only thing I went with because Chris couldn't decide between the 60s or 70s. So he's like, if you're picturing something burning and you feel strongly about the 80s, he's like, let's just go with that. So we did it. And I don't even know if it was the burning people that I like, because I don't know what the Burning Man Festival is, but I literally picture it being dark out and things being on fire at some kind of festival. And I feel like it was definitely, in my mind, feels more like from an 80s episode than a 90s episode. But because the 90s episodes usually have like the riots in LA, so and that's usually where I see things on fire. So we locked in with the 80s. So we've got an 80s and a 90s.
It's gonna be like the 50s.
Ooh, so the correct answer is the 1980s.
Ooh, well done.
So yeah, we get points. But it actually has the actual year. I don't know if we were supposed to do that or not, but it was 1986.
Okay.
So, which is really funny because we were talking about Live Aid. Because we were talking about music, because Chris was saying the Burning Man thing was a music festival, and then we're like, well, maybe it's not the 80s because Live Aid.
No, but that's a really good point because the 80s was when all of the music festivals pretty much were founded.
See, I was trying to talk her into the 60s. I thought maybe this is like a precursor to
Oh,
Woodstock.
yeah.
Woodstock, yeah.
But nope. All right. Hey, we'll take the points.
Well, cool, yeah, because we were behind. So, good guessing.
I didn't do shit.
No, she was complimenting herself.
Well, you had confidence in me, so. Okay, so let me turn this back over. All right, so the last question in the Anything Goes category. It's a number question. I am not sure how we're going to do this for a point value. I think it's supposed to be whatever team gets closest to a number.
Yeah, let's do closest to the pin.
Okay,
Okay.
We'll do it that way. So only one team can get points for this one, unless we just happen to be exactly off. Okay, so your question is, about how many hamburgers does McDonald's sell per second?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ouch.
I like that question.
I don't even know if I can begin to guess.
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah, we're gonna lock in with a way wrong answer.
Mike's doing all kinds of math.
I know
here.
I am.
just lost.
I'm going crazy here. We got to, okay, McDonald's stopped counting at when they hit $1 billion. And that was about 20 years ago. And so we reasoned that they've probably done about $1 billion since then. So we're basically walking the math back from $1 billion every 20 years, which is 5 million every year. And then 50 million a year. Exactly. Sorry. I even just said it. And then I say it great when we're on mute and then we're live. 50 million. All right. Wait. And this is where it comes in. Okay. 525,600 minutes. Let's round that down to 500,000 because that's easy math. 50 million divided by 500,000 is 10, right?
Sure.
I think that's 10. And that's
I use a
10.
calculator.
That's 10 a minute.
Okay.
Which is fewer than 1 a second. And I can't, okay. Now I'm totally off because there's no way it'd be fewer than 1 a second or else this
I can't
wouldn't
imagine
be
they
a
would
question.
make that many per second. No, like, I mean, doesn't it take
Right.
more than 1 second
Right,
to make a
exactly.
burger?
So okay, if you do 10 a minute, but it's not individual McDonald's, it's all the McDonald's across the world,
Okay.
right? So you got to figure every second at least one McDonald's is selling a
burger.
hamburger.
Yeah, okay.
All right, and since my math just got us to 1/6 of a burger, I'd say the initial estimate was way off. Let's flip it. You want to say 6 burgers a second, or would it be even more than that? Like,
I don't know. This
know.
is a very confusing
it
question.
is. Now, but remember, this is like, we don't have to be faster than the bear. We just have to be faster than the slowest person in our party. So really, we just need to get closer than them. But we don't know what their guess is. So
It's like, I mean, there's so many McDonald's.
You're gonna get closer
like,
than us.
You know, so it's just.
right,
I mean, it's
exactly.
got to be like more than like 6 burgers a second. Like that's where, you know, it's got to be a lot more than that.
Right,
because,
exactly.
You know, how many
many McDonald's
There's
do you
more
think
than
there are in the
6
world?
McDonald's like down our. We have like 3 like a block from us. Like,
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't even make sense. It'd be 6 burgers.
Right. No, you're right. Let's go back. Yeah, you're right. Should probably go about it a different way. Assuming there's 1 million McDonald's in the world, that might be an overestimate. I don't know. How many McDonald's do you think there are in the world?
There's probably about a
You think there might be 1 million? I
McDonald's.
mean, I don't know.
There's a lot.
But and that's
each
one
city,
for every.
I mean,
what's
if you
that?
think
One for
about
every
it,
700 people.
Each
Something
little
like that?
each city.
Or no, it'd be one for every 7,000.
Like, I mean, like, all right, like in,
I can
in
math.
Huntsville, we probably have 30.
Yeah, it's true. All right, so you assume 1 million McDonald's, and you assume in 1 second at least one McDonald's. So basically, I would say every second at least one McDonald's is serving a burger. I would say, probably. So
This is a ridiculous question.
I know,
Like,
it
there's no way
totally
you can
is.
Get this? Like, I mean, it's got to be something that they advertised or said.
Exactly.
It's the only way you would know.
You just want to say like after all this, you just want to say like 500. I mean, I don't know.
Sure, they
Is
make
that-
five.
is that-
They make 500.
So if
burgers.
you assume
Probably more than that.
all right, but let's say it takes about a minute to serve a burger, give or take. So if you assume 1 million McDonald's,
But they
if you
didn't say
assume at
make
least-
a burger, but they said sell a
so
burger.
serve a burger, right? And that's true. Ah,
So making
This
a
is
burger
dry-
and serving a burger are totally different things.
trying to logic because this is driving me insane. Because now I'm sitting here going, and then you have to consider peak hours versus off times and blah blah blah.
I would say they do
insane.
a few thousand burgers. It's got to be a few thousand burgers.
You think it's a few thousand burgers
yeah,
a second?
Absolutely.
All right.
If you think about how many McDonald's there are, it's got to be.
You know, say 2,500 burgers a second.
Sure, 2,500.
2,500 burgers
I'm
a
sure
second.
it's way more.
That's insane.
Okay, so Mike and Nikki locked in with 2,500 burgers. Chris, what are we looking with?
So we had they eventually got to our logic stream where it's how many McDonald's do you think there are, and then how many burgers do you think they can order in a minute, and then we brought it down to the second. And then I think as we locked in, and I just kind of got tired of doing all the math, and I said sure to whatever your division was, but your division is way, way off.
I'm just going back to it now. Yeah, I think I had the wrong placeholder.
Yeah, I think you moved it over one too many.
The combination.
You have one too many zeros in our answer, but we locked it in, so say it.
40,000. But I think our math was supposed to point us at 4,000.
Yeah, I would have felt a lot. I thought there's about 50. My head goes there's probably about 50,000 McDonald's in the world. 50,000 seemed like the right.
That's
number.
way different than a million, which is where we were at.
So.
But it's like the whole world. I mean, there's McDonald's all around the world, not
right.
just the country.
Well, guess what? It doesn't really matter because the correct answer is 75.
We're way off.
So Mike and Nikki are closer. However, whatever. Mike went anything from 1/6 of a burger.
Ironically, I just got an update on my phone about McDonald's
2,500.
new menu item.
Ooh.
It's like the same second that we.
Is it a burger?
No, I mean, I'm just telling you, I think the government's somebody's listening.
You're probably
'Cause
right.
My phone
That's
just said
creepy.
McDonald's test new menu item.
And here's a question.
Serious question though. What's the new menu out?
But here's a question I didn't think about.
Break.
A Big Mac.
A maple barbecue and bacon quarter pounder.
Oh, God,
I would eat the
give me
shit out of
right
that.
now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
It's going to be
oh my God.
introduced in March of
You don't eat
2021.
McDonald's.
The Western Barbecue Quarter Pounder, which launched in Canada as a limited time menu item, was described by the chain as hot, juicy, tasty, and smoky.
So, does a Big Mac count as 2 burgers sold, since it's technically 2 patties, or is the burger the full thing?
I would think it counts as
I don't know.
one.
It doesn't really say like when it's coming here. It was
Yeah,
in
it doesn't.
Canada.
It says
Canada was March 2021.
This is how many hamburgers are sold. So does that not include cheeseburgers? We should have asked a lot of clarifying
It just
questions
says
It's
before we-
okay. It doesn't matter. We guessed 40,000.
75 burgers.
A second.
Even if
We were
if it
off.
helps, even if you guys guessed 4,000, we still would have gotten points.
I mean, I don't know. In my mind,
That's
I'm thinking
true.
they serve thousands and thousands. Because I'm thinking like serving is a totally different thing than like making it. Because
Right. Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, where do
I
they
don't
even get their
even know.
math
Like,
to
how
fact
do they
check
fact? I
this?
mean,
Like
I don't know
I miss
how
the
they
good old
got
days
this.
of the podcast where we watched
Yeah,
football
right.
while we did this.
Yeah, in that inaugural episode, you could hear us periodically swearing at the television.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry.
I pulled up. Yeah. It's a stupid question. I pulled up episode 2, and the beginning of episode 2 of the show was us talking about Penn State, Ohio State.
Yep,
playing
that's right.
football. So, all right, Leah.
all right, so going into the second half of our game, Mike and Nikki are still ahead by 20. They have 70 points, and we have 50.
All right, so we're not too far behind.
Somebody's game, and this next category hopefully will sway more into our favor, but we'll see. So it's going to be the pop culture category. So it's going to be the same format as the first half. It's just all questions based on pop culture.
All right. Before we get into the next category, I do want to go ahead and tell our listeners a couple of things here. So, listen, I know that a lot of other podcasts do that, but if you're enjoying the content that we bring you here at the Pub Trivia Experience or our sister podcast, Boozy Bracketology, and you want more of that sweet, sweet bonus content for all of our shows, head on over to patreon.com/PTEBB. The Patreon is going to be our exclusive home of all of our bonus content. There's going to be bonus content every month from Pub Trivia Experience, from Boozy, AMAs, the whole 9 yards right there, as well as all of our back catalog episodes of our old podcast. Recast that. But if you want to give back, if you want to say thank you to us for bringing the content that hopefully you love and enjoy on a daily, weekly basis, that's one way to do it. Listen, times are tough. I get it. If you can't, leave us a 5-star rating, write us a review. That would be awesome. Or, hey, come hang out with us on Facebook at The Lounge. Fans of Pub Trivia Experience and Boozy Bracketology. All 4 of us are on there. In fact, earlier today, there was a post that I threw on there about Mountain Dew coming out with an alcoholic version of Mountain Dew. So once that hits the shelves, I guarantee we'll be drinking it on here. Leah, back to you.
All right, so we're going to head into our pop culture category. Okay, here is your first question. The musician Childish Gambino appears on what NBC show?
Yeah, we can
in.
lock into that's.
Oh, let's 3, 2,
No.
1 this. And see what
No, I'm
happens.
afraid Chris will stay Stanley Kubrick again. So that was my one.
That's your one.
Okay,
That's a
It really,
shitty way to
it
waste
really
your
was.
one, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm a little disappointed. So, like most women in Mike's life, I'm leaving that interaction with him a little disappointed.
okay.
Sorry, that was mean in front of your wife. I apologize.
That was very
Mike's just like,
Thank you for
I apologize, Mike.
I don't know. Right now, I'm not sure I'm feeling very welcome in this community. But yeah, community.
All right, you're out of the study group. You're out of the study group. Get out.
Is that you guys' guest?
I'll
Yeah,
allow
it's
it.
community.
That's our guest too?
Yes, it's community. It's Donald Glover.
Okay.
You don't even have to turn the card over.
So the correct answer is community. Nicely done, everyone. 10 points for Gryffindor and Hufflepuff. Okay, so question number 2. In what movie remake did Beyonce play the singer Xania? It's Xania. I think that's how you start Xanadu, so I just assume it starts with Xania. It's Xania.
A movie
Xania?
remake?
Can you reread the question?
In what movie remake did Beyonce play the singer Xania or Xania? I may have put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
So,
All right, we're going to go ahead and lock in.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
that's I'm fine. I'm
yeah,
okay
I mean,
with
we
that.
can. It's a guess because I mean, it's not Dreamgirls because that's not a remake. I mean, it was a Broadway musical, but I don't think her character name was whatever they said it was.
Xenia or
Xenia,
yeah.
that wasn't her name in
Mm-mm.
Dreamgirls. I don't remember what her name was, but I don't think it was that.
So
yeah, so I'm thinking. I know she was in a movie called Cadillac Records. I didn't see the movie. I don't even really know what it was about. When you said it sounded familiar.
I feel
as far
like
as
that
it was an older
also
movie.
was the name of an older movie that was from the 70s or 80s, which again I've never seen, but I at least feel like it was. So I'm
it's
okay
a
with
total
that.
random pool, but I'm just gonna say Cadillac Records.
Okay, Cadillac Records. Chris, what did we say? I don't even remember what we said.
Yeah, so we there's only 2 movies that I think we can say comfortably that we know Beyonce was in. There's The Lion King, which is a remake, but it's not that. The
So
other,
we're pretty sure she was like Nala or somebody.
yeah,
in
the
that
other
one.
definitely isn't. This is definitely not Austin
Yeah.
Powers in Gold.
We talked about that one too.
She's Foxy Cleopatra, and she is a
She is.
whole lot of woman. So we try to go back and think like what could have been a movie that maybe we've heard of that might have possibly been a remake, and the only thing that kind of stuck out to us, and this is not right. The answer is not right, but we went with The Wiz, thinking maybe there was a different version of that, and then maybe she was in a version of it that got released in theaters.
They did a version on television, but A, I think it was after this game came out, and B, I don't think Beyonce was in it, but still, that's actually a pretty good guess.
It's the closest thing to a guess we could get to. So, I mean, even if they just did one version of it, it would technically be a remake of Wizard of Oz, right?
All right, so your correct answer is not one that
Shocker.
anyone guessed. The correct answer is the Pink.
Oh,
Panther.
son of a-
Oh, damn, she was-
I forgot she
Son
was
of a
in
bitch.
that.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot she was in that. Yeah, Steve Martin, yeah.
I totally
Yeah.
forgot
Oh
she
my
was in
goodness,
that.
I forgot
Inspector
about that.
Clouseau. Oh my god, I
Well,
blocked that
yeah.
out of my memory. I hated that movie.
Yeah, she totally was in that.
Yes, she
Yeah.
was. Oh my goodness.
She was. We're
Right.
good at pop culture, I swear.
I have a
Can
trophy on my
Can we go
foot.
back and watch it?
No.
Let's go back and watch it and figure out how to pronounce her name because
It's
I'm
all
still
right.
not sure.
No, I'm not watching that movie again.
Okay, so we'll just move right along to question number 3. Also, kind of in a music-y category, I guess. What musical instrument is associated with Robert Moog? M-O-O-G. Moog.
A cowbell.
There's something called a Moog synthesizer.
Who's that?
I know that for
Who'd
a
that
fact.
be?
It's a synthesizer.
What does a
I don't know
Moog
if you
sound
know
like?
more
Probably not an
something like that,
American.
but it's just a synthesizer. It's like a
Moog.
Was
Is it a
was
cowbell?
American or no?
Nope.
shit. Could it be the
Musical
keytar?
instrument is associated with Robert Moog. I say we say cowbell just because of the name.
I mean, you're on this one.
I
Sorry,
know.
baby.
It's one of those two.
Can you
Oh,
think of another
man.
musical instrument?
A synthesizer or
think of a lot of
guitar?
music.
Yeah, I mean,
Accordion?
really, the keytar
I
is
feel like
a
it's not
special
gonna. Well,
type
I
of
mean, I guess it
synthesizer.
could be. I feel like it's gonna be like a weird
Synthesizer is
instrument,
more
like a
of broad
flute.
thing. Basically, an electric keyboard. It makes kind of
Bagpipes,
synthetic
that's a good
noises.
one.
That's what a synthesizer is.
But there's a shit ton of cows in Scotland.
It's hard
What
to
does
tell,
a
like, kind of
Moog
what they're
sound
asking.
like?
I mean, like, you said it's the Moog synthesizer,
The-
but is
the
it,
Moog
but did they get
synthesizer
the
is
What
synthesizer
country?
from?
Like if your last name
a
is
guitar?
Moog, where do you think you were? German?
I mean, I think the keytar was developed as, a kind of special
Moog.
type
Okay,
of
what do
synthesizer.
those
You
people
could
play?
hold like
A fiddle?
a guitar and play like a guitar. So
Go with the keytar. Or do you
I
want
just-
to say
I
syn-
just- I
or
just
do you
know that I-
it's called the Moog
I know
synthesizer?
there's something called a Moog synthesizer. Is my only
Go
hesitation.
with the synthesizer.
Maybe he's the one who did it.
Maybe you're overthinking it. By
Maybe
saying
he's the one who
guitar.
did
You're probably right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I'm
Your
overthinking.
namesake. Okay.
Okay, we can lock in.
Maybe he was his friend.
That's good. We're dying to share this conversation with the world.
Okay, so here's
So Leah,
this
tell
is
the
about how it went.
tell us what did you want to say your answer and why did you want to say it?
I said Robert Moog. We should
Same
just
thing.
because I think it'd be funny.
I said, why don't we just say cowbell?
Oh, that's so funny. Great minds think alike. So then we went to Moog. What ancestry do you think Moog is? And so we landed on English Irish, and then we started debating what do English Irish people play. We talked about bagpipes, but it doesn't sound Scottish. So then what did Chris say?
Well, no, you had said, well, I said, well, maybe he played a flute to drive the snakes out of Ireland. You go, that's a good answer. I'm like, that was St. Patrick. So
we were just
also
trying to
there
talk.
were never any snakes in Ireland. Let's make that abundantly clear.
Okay, well,
Yes,
we were just
thank
talking
you,
about
St.
different
Patrick.
instruments,
I
So
don't know.
we were like, so we were like flute, fiddle, accordion.
I like the idea of bagpipes, but I don't.
Bagpipes?
The other thing is like he could be
He's probably like guitar.
someone from like Louisiana who got big on the trumpet or the saxophone. He could be a blues player of some sort.
Moog. Last name Moog. You think
Maybe,
they're
maybe
from Louisiana?
he
New
could
Orleans? New Orleans?
Nolans.
Moog. They probably eat him alive there.
I don't know. I think honestly, bagpipes is a funny answer. I don't think it's bagpipes. I'm thinking it's my best guess would be trumpet or saxophone.
Well, that was a big left turn that you just took there.
Well, I'm going back to New Orleans and thinking he could be someone from there, and I don't know what else he would play down there. So
Okay, well, just pick an instrument because we're not going to get it probably.
we'll go saxophone.
Okay, we're going to lock in with saxophone. Mike and Nikki, what did you lock in with? Did you lock in with
I
cowbell?
wanted to.
We did briefly
Yeah, me
discuss
too.
the cowbell, but I do know that there is an instrument called the Moog synthesizer. Now, the debate that we had though was
Well, it was a debate in his head.
it was
I
that's
didn't-
true.
I didn't debate
Nikki
it.
was like, oh, that's good, and I was like, but wait, all right. So the other thing that I thought of though, which is kind of a specialized synthesizer, is the keytar. I don't know why that also popped into my head after I got there, but I don't know much about the synthesizer or the keytar for that matter. But ultimately, we just decided to lock in with synthesizer and hope for the best. And if it's keytar, I'll kick myself. But we said synthesizer.
It's a good guess. I didn't have that logic. Nicely done.
Okay, Mike, well, you're going to have to explain to me what a synthesizer is because your correct answer is the synthesizer.
It's a keyboard that makes synthetic sounds.
It's like
basically.
what Ross played in Friends. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what Ross played in Friends.
That helps.
Yeah, he says like I play. Yeah, he's like I play the keyboards, but he doesn't play the keyboards. He plays the synthesizer.
Nice pull, Mike.
Thanks,
Nice
Mike.
pull.
Good job. Well, hopefully this next question is one that everybody will get. Well, hopefully you guys can mess it up, but whatever. What is the name of Mickey Mouse's dog?
Wait, seriously?
That's the answer, or that's not the answer. That's the question.
The anthropomorphic one he calls a
You
friend,
guys,
or the
let's
one
discuss.
he apparently keeps as a slave, because the universe clearly establishes that dogs also function as.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, this is an ethical debate.
it gets dark in a hurry once you delve too deeply
Mute us
into
so
the
we
inner
can
logic
talk.
of the Mickey Mouse universe.
Are we muted?
But yes, we can.
Yeah, I think we can lock
Yeah,
in.
we're
That
goofy.
was our way of
Yes,
saying.
no?
That.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think we can lock in as well.
Okay, Chris, what did we lock in with?
Again, there's one that's a slave and there's one that's a friend, so I'm assuming it's Pluto.
Is that the slave?
Yes.
Okay.
Pluto is a loyal dog.
All right, Mike and
Yeah,
Nikki,
I
what
mean,
did you
yes,
say?
it's Pluto, but the Goofy is in fact a dog too. But Pluto is Mickey's pet.
No. Our daughter has several imaginary variations of Pluto as friends.
Her best one is Pluto from
Pluto from Pluto,
Ah.
right? Because he's Martian Mickey's
Ah.
pet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, see, so
Well, I mean,
it's from Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah,
no,
it's from
she
Mickey
didn't
Mouse
think
Clubhouse.
about
Yeah,
it.
she has. That's not
Okay.
that's not an Abby.
But she's always
original.
like, look at this is my friend
Oh.
Pluto from Pluto.
But that's so cute, because the very first episode of this podcast started with her crying and needing a diaper change,
Hmm.
and now here she is. Yeah,
Aw.
absolutely.
That's
I
true.
remember very well.
Oh,
Now
she's
she is
Yep.
with
three.
her
Now she's
imaginary
3, and we got
friends.
another one.
Oh my lord.
Okay, so your correct answer is Pluto. So yay!
Yay.
10 points for
Woo.
everybody.
Mickey's pet, still not a planet, so hey,
I know.
there's that.
All right, so now we're going on to question number 5. Ooh, this is fun. This is where a nice little reference could come in. In what city did Alfred Hitchcock's Birds torment actress Tippi Hedren? So in what city did is Birds set in? I'm assuming what is that? So in what city did Alfred Hitchcock's Birds torment actress Tippi Hedren?
I'm both a little upset that I already used my 1 per cast, but also at a loss as to how I would turn this one around on Chris. So
We'll see.
I'm okay with a turnaround on Chris, just throwing that out there.
all right, we're gonna think about this. We know it's yeah.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and lock in.
I actually think we've been going back and forth about a lot of things, but I actually think it's going to be not a household name. I think it's going to be just like a small, because it was more of a small towny type of feel.
I don't know.
To it.
I just remember lots of phone lines in a phone booth, and I just remember
Right.
being really scared. And I don't like Birds to this day, and I will never rewatch that movie, and I don't like it. So
Yeah, no, that's fair.
they were evil birds. And
They were.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's. I think it's probably going to be some town that is probably prominent in the movie, and I just don't remember. But for whatever reason,
Just do your first.
you want
guess.
to do my very
Sure.
first, the very first thing that popped in my head, apropos of literally nothing, was San Bernardino, California. So after all this discussion,
We're no closer.
we just realized we're no closer, and we don't really have a clue. So we're going to say that.
Okay, so you said
Yeah.
San Bernardino? Okay. Then, Chris, what are we looking with?
Yeah, I have not seen this movie in forever. I don't even know what the ending is. I just remember reading an interview with Hitchcock where I don't know if this is how the movie ended or how he wanted the movie to end, but he said the ending of the movie he wanted to be was the Golden Gate Bridge engulfed in birds, just birds like to the point where you couldn't recognize it anymore. It's not. It's again. We went through all the different cities in the Monterey and Sausalito, but it feels way of a scale of a movie too small to be San Francisco. But the only city we could tie back to it was San Francisco, and that was a tangential tie at best. But it's the only thing we had.
Okay. So your correct answer, no one's getting points for this one, is Bodega
Bodega Bay.
Bay.
I
Bodega.
I was thinking it was like
Wow.
something Bay or yeah, okay. Chris, the way
makes
that
sense.
it ends is they hole up in the house and they wait until morning, and then in the morning they walk out of the house and all the there's just birds all over the lawn and everywhere, but they just like basically tiptoe through the birds and the birds don't do anything to them and they get in their car and drive away, and that's how it ends.
I remember Hitchcock
This is
saying
weird.
that he wanted the last shot of the movie to be just the Golden Gate Bridge.
And
just
that would have
covered in
worked with that
birds.
ending, because as they were driving away, you could see that, and it would basically just be like, yeah, it's the birds' world now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick.
That's creepy.
All right. So we are now going into our halftime round in the pop culture category. So for this question, there's going to be 4 possible answers. You will get 5 points for every correct answer that you have, and please do not give us more than 4 answers. Is everybody
Let's
ready?
do it.
Ready?
Okay. So name the 4 actors that play the news team in the movie Anchorman. They are looking for the actors.
We'll go ahead and lock in.
Counting.
Okay.
Are they counting the woman?
I don't think they're counting Christina Applegate.
Okay.
I think they're counting 4 dudes. So we're going to lock in with Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, Paul Rudd, and David Koechner.
Okay, and then Chris, what did you lock in with?
We actually had a similar answer. We had
Yeah.
Will Ferrell, Steve
no.
Carell, David
Hmm.
Koechner, and Paul Rudd.
He is rude. How dare he not age, that motherfucker?
He is like a vampire.
He really is.
Okay, so your correct answers are Will Ferrell, Paul Rudd, David Koechner,
It's Koechner.
Koechner,
Yeah.
and Steve Carell. So I'm going to give
Well
everyone
done. Well
points.
done, guys.
Yay!
Good pull. Good pull. Koechner was
Yeah,
the one
right,
that's
exactly.
tough, right? You know.
Yes, I did not know that one. I said Champ. I said I think his name was
he's
Champ.
he's champ.
He was the sports guy.
I still think his best role ever is in Thank You for
I
Smoking.
love that movie. Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
The movie's phenomenal.
And no one talks about it, so
Okay,
thank you for
so
bringing that up. Folks, go see Thank You for Smoking. Great movie.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Thank You for Smoking, like literally leave us a 5-star rating, write us a review, and then hit pause and go watch Thank You for
Exactly.
Smoking right now.
Oh
Nick
my
Naylor
God.
is hilarious.
You know that guy who can go into a bar and get any girl? I'm him on crack. God, I love that movie. Aaron Eckhart's
It's
wonderful.
a great
man.
movie. And then he made I
Well,
Frankenstein.
we'll be talking about that soon enough.
That's true.
Awesome. All right. So we've got 3 more questions of this game. Right now, Mike and Nikki lead by 30 points. So
Well, that foreshadows an
kind
ending here.
of locks us out, but whatever. We're still gonna finish strong, and
Keep in mind, we have no plan for a tie.
That's
so-
a good point.
it's gonna be great. Okay, so here's your question number 7. It's a Who Said It category.
Oh, good one, Mike and Nikki. Good job.
Who said music can take you back in time to that place when you first fell in love and really haunt you?
Is it David Koechner?
So I'll read it again. Music can take you back in time to that place when you first fell in love and really haunt you.
All right, we can lock in.
They're moody people.
Okay,
Wow,
good.
Well,
'cause
we
we're
just took a really weird turn with our answers.
So we've talked about a couple. So what was the first one you said?
We said Alanis Morissette because she sang that song "You Ought to Know" about Dave Coulier, and then we're like, what other female moody singers are
Well,
there?
no, we didn't say female. We said what other moody singers
What
are on
other
there,
moody
and
singers? And
we came up
said-
with Jewel and Taylor Swift, and then I realized that wow, we're being sexist
Yeah, so
because
then we
men
tried
are moody too. We are moody bitches.
So then I was like, all right, well, let's start naming moody male singers. And we went Clapton, James Taylor, Phil Collins, Michael Bolton,
Simon and Garfunkel,
Simon and Garfunkel. We got-
Garfunkel and Oates. Like, we went.
Garfunkel
Yeah,
and
okay.
Oates takes you back to women.
We pretty much named, yeah, like literally any artist out there.
Yeah,
So,
so
what
we-
do you want
we-
to go with?
We didn't have an answer.
Any
So
of those sound good to you?
none of them sound right to me. Clapton, I think, is the best answer just because he's got a longer career and he's been in multiple different things. But to this day, like, I'm not a music guy. I couldn't name a single damn song Eric Clapton ever sang. Nothing from the
Tears
Yardbirds.
in Heaven about his son who died.
Oh,
That's-
great.
That's where I got the moody part from.
Let's
but that's
okay.
not
We'll
about-
go. We're going with Clapton because we're not talking about that right now.
Okay, we'll go Eric Clapton.
So we kind of
Mike and Nikki.
reasoned that this could really be anybody. It wouldn't necessarily have to be a musician, and we just kind of said, who is somebody who's we did focus on musicians, and for whatever reason, I was just like, well, somebody who popped into my head immediately who sang a lot of songs about love and being haunted by it was the only man who could beat Mecha Streisand in South Park, and that would be Robert Smith of The Cure. So that's what we said.
Okay.
Not a bad guess.
It really could be anybody.
It really could be anybody.
Yeah, there's no way to get there.
Okay, so let's see. So the correct answer is Taylor Swift.
Wow.
So it was one we said.
I said it. I said the
Yeah,
answer.
you mentioned that one.
Yeah,
She
it
talks
actually
about-
does make
she
sense.
talks about first love.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The patriarchy bit me in the ass.
All right, so we got 2 more questions. Congratulations, Mike and Nikki.
You're
sealed-
officially the champions tonight. Good
Yay.
job.
Let's widen that lead.
But we'll still finish out the last 2. All right, so this is your decades question. In what decade did The Wizard of Oz debut in theaters?
No, we can lock in. Yeah.
Well, super, because they know all the freaking Oscar winners all the way back.
Yeah,
to
but
Wizard of Oz
times.
didn't win an
They know
Oscar.
the exact year.
Didn't win the Oscar.
Oh. What do you think? 30s?
Okay.
They had color. When did they start getting in color? When did they start performing?
Wizard of Oz and Gone
Live
with the
and
Wind are
Living
like the same year,
Color?
or in the same year, right?
Who?
Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind, because they're the first 2 like major color pictures. The 30s sounds right.
This couldn't have been the 40s because it would have happened after World War II,
Yeah.
probably. So that would have been like
What's-
mid to
what-
late 40s.
What's holding me up is I know that Judy Garland and Frank Sinatra were friends, and I know Judy Garland died young. So how do you mesh that up with him being big in the 60s? But he was big in the 50s too. And
Mhm. I picture him early.
I think like late 30s, like 38, 39 sounds about right. So I'm good with that.
I was thinking 32, 33, but I guess it's the same decade. No
Yeah,
matter
we'll
what.
go to
So
1930s.
We'll go 1930s. Mike and Nikki, what did you say?
Yeah, I mean, the reason Wizard of Oz didn't win Best Picture was because it came out the same year as Gone with the Wind, which was 1939. So, yeah, we said the 30s.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Hopefully it's right. Wow. All right, so spot on. So it was 1930s, and the year was 1939.
All right.
It's nice
It's always
that you
tricky
got
when
it.
they do
So
one
cool.
like the last
Where it's like the last year, yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to remember there were 2 full years almost of the 40s before World War II began, though. At least before it was technically going on in 1939. We just weren't a part of it.
Yeah, so
Okay, so your final question. This is going to be for all the marbles. Whoever can guess this answer.
You have no marbles! Huevos?
Bubbles? Huevos?
And I'm assuming this may not include as much math as
Oh,
the last
God,
one
yeah,
was
Oh, thank
seriously.
God.
So the question is, how many wives did Federico Fellini have?
Oh.
Federico Fellini.
Okay.
All right, we can lock in.
Okay. So does 4. I know, I'm just saying it starts with the same letter.
The
I'm just
echoing
saying.
laughter of Chris.
No logic.
All
Yeah,
right.
we're locked in.
I'm just saying. Your logic is
My
flawed.
logic is very flawed, and you can tell everyone
Whatever.
about it.
Okay, so Mike and Nikki, what numbers
I mean,
did
we
you say?
thought it was based off the musical 9 because that was the guy in it. So I mean, I never saw the musical.
I didn't either,
or
but I'm
know
pretty
anything
sure
about
it was
but
Fellini.
but it was called the musical was called Nines, and I think that's who that is. So yeah, 9.
Yes, we said 9.
Okay, and Chris, what did we lock in with?
We
you
gave
had
zero-
such good logic.
We gave zero logical thought to this. I thought it'd be funny if it was the 5 Wives of Fellini or the 5 Wives of Federico Fellini for some reason. And then Leah correctly pointed out, well, then it could be 4
true.
Oh,
as well.
He's like, let's pick 5 because it starts with the same letter as his name, and I was like, so does 4.
No, 9 is 100% the right answer. Now
Are you
that
sure?
I think about
I
it,
didn't
I'm
look
not
it.
sure, but I'm 90% sure.
All right, so you want to know the correct answer?
Obviously,
The correct
Ah!
answer is
What?
1. So we got points.
Yeah, you do because you were
We get
closer. That's
points,
right.
we got points.
Wow.
You know,
Holy
and I was
shit.
thinking,
Maybe
I
it's
was
the
thinking,
wrong person.
Right.
no, it's the right person, but I don't think he wasn't married to all of the women,
He
so that
had
makes
9
total
He had
sense.
9 loves.
That
but
was
only one
probably
wife.
that was probably the half, an 8.5.
Oh. Was the half his wife?
Sure, why not? I don't know.
What's the
I
half
feel
of
like
I
voice?
don't even know what was it
I feel
about.
like I saw
know
the movie.
I know it was a Broadway musical, and I know that Daniel Day-Lewis did the movie version.
I'm
of it.
almost
I don't
positive-
know anything about it.
I went through a brief period where I was really trying to get into the foreign auteurs like your Federico Fellini's and those types. And it just didn't take for me. But I think I watched 8.5 and I don't remember it. But I think that 9 was based off of him. Because I think it was basically 8.5. Let's round it up and call it 9.
Yeah.
No, once you said that, I was pretty on board with it.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
Damn.
I don't know why it's
All
called
right.
9 then. I've never watched. I should watch it, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so to end the game, our final scores, unless you want to do the last one, where you get to draw a picture of the Instagram logo for 500 bonus points.
How about just 11?
Yeah.
11 bonus points.
No, it doesn't matter because we're behind. The final scores are 110 for Leah and Chris to 130 of Mike and Nikki.
Oh, the 11 doesn't do us any good then, does
The
it?
11 does not do us any good. We might as well not even do it.
Good
Nice
game,
Mike
guys.
and Nikki, nice game. Mike, I think that's a 3-game
Yeah,
winning
that's-
streak for you.
Wow. Yeah. That's unusual.
Not the one that came out last weekend.
No.
It lost
Yeah,
to
but
Stevie
that
and
but that was
Isabel.
out of order, technically speaking. From
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We recorded the. Yeah, that was.
that's all
Pretty
right. Chris
edited
can
by
order. Chris can
Chris.
post them in any order he wants.
Okay,
But
cool.
nicely done, Mike and Nikki. As always, a really good
Oh
time
yeah, it's
tonight.
always
Thank
a pleasure.
you.
No, that was
Thank
great.
y'all.
And everyone, that's going to bring us to the end of another episode of the Pub Trivia Experience. Find us on Instagram, Pub Trivia Experience, Twitter at Pub Trivia Pod, Facebook, The Lounge, fans of the Pub Trivia Experience, and as always, patreon.com/PTEBB is your home of all of our bonus content, both the Pub Trivia Experience and Boozy Bracketology. For the Pub Trivia Experience, I have been Chris.
I've been Leah.
Nikki?
And Mike.
We will see you next week. Have a good one.